to Lovely Nail and Beauty. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell. And also don't forget to click on the like button if you like the video. Thank you. Hi guys, today welcome to Lovely Nail and Beauty Resin. I'm gonna do a resin project. So I'm gonna create some coaster where you can put your glasses with different set of silicone mold. So right there I have my resin mix already. I use the hardened and the spoilsin resin. I mixed them together, half and half quantity. And so I'm gonna pour my resin in different small cup because I would like to create different color. So you can use the plastic cup or the silicone cups. So that will be the first set of color that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna take this cup and I'm gonna use the Artesia acrylic painting. I'm gonna use the green metallic color. So with the resin, you can mix it up with painting, you can mix it up with liquid colorant pigment. You can mix it with whatever you want to mix. So that will be my first color. So I'm gonna take another small cup of resin and I'm gonna use the yellow metallic painting, acrylic painting. I'm gonna mix it up. So I'm gonna create a lot of different color. I will like to have a different color of coaster. So I'm gonna take another one. And this one I'm gonna add the purple glitter. It looks so nice, looks shiny. So I try to prepare each color before I start my pouring. And I have another cup over there. So for this one, I'm gonna use a pigment color, the orange one. So I'm gonna first cut the head so that I can pour it. I'm gonna put some drop inside and mix with my wood stick the resin. So now I'm gonna do the first set of my pouring because there will be two parts in this video. So that's the first part. So far I'm gonna try to mix different color that I did the setup already. So on this one I'm gonna add the blue glitter powder. It looks so nice, shiny. So right now I'm gonna try to pour two colors in the same time. I'm sorry I didn't set up the camera right, but you're gonna see how it looks. So I'm gonna pour the yellow and the blue glitter resin together on one small piece of my silicone. So I'm gonna only use for the first part the 4 small space of silicone mold. That will be the first part of my video. So I'm gonna bring down my silicone so that you can see. It looks so nice. So you have to pour your resin until the mold is filled up to the edge. Because if you don't, when it's gonna dry, the resin is gonna sink a little bit. That look nice. So now I'm gonna use another small space of silicone mold. I'm gonna use the orange and the green the metallic green resin. I'm gonna pour them together. And here I have a 2-color. I'll just add more resin if I feel like the silicone mold is not full. So that's another small piece of resin that I'm gonna use to create the coaster. Now I'm gonna fill up those 2 small parts of the silicone mold. So I'm gonna use, that's the metallic green. I add a little bit of white acrylic painting. And on this time, I'm gonna pour on this one the purple glitter resin. It looks very nice. And I'm gonna add the green metallic resin. I'm gonna mix the 2 colors together. That looks very nice. So I'm gonna add the red metallic. I would like to change the color of the orange resin. So you can create any kind of color you want with the resin. So here, I'm gonna pour that over there. And I'm gonna add the yellow resin that I made. I'm gonna mix the 2 colors. Okay, this is the one of my coaster set, the first coaster set, the resin that I pour. That's the way it look. So I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours. And now I'm gonna use the circle coaster silicone mold. I'm gonna start with the small 4 space of the silicone mold. And for this one, again, I need to create a new mix of resin because each set have a different quantity of resin that I should use. So on the side, I'm gonna pour again the harder and the resin together. Always pour equal quantity of both and mix it up. Take your time to mix it up. So right now, I'm gonna prepare now another set of color for this mold. So I mixed both of them already. I'm gonna pour them. And again, you can see from my previous video how to mix the harder and the resin together. So now I'm gonna use my small cup. And I'm gonna pour my resin in small quantity in each small cup because I would like to, again, to create different color. It seems confusing because there is so many colors that I'm using, but by the second part, you will have a clear idea how the project is gonna look. So on this one, I'm gonna use the pink metallic Artesia painting acrylic. So that will be my first color for this set. And here I have the black metallic. So I'm gonna mix my pink metallic with the resin, and you can see it's a nice color. And you know, you have to be patient if you want to create different color. And here I have the purple metallic. I like the metallic color. So now I'm gonna put that on the side. And here I have my black metallic acrylic painting that I pour in the resin. I'm gonna mix it up. Again, if you feel like the color is kind of transparent, you can add more pigment or you can add more acrylic painting. So I'm gonna use again another cup. This time I'm gonna add the gold acrylic painting on my resin. I need to open the acrylic, it was closed. And now I'm gonna mix up the acrylic painting with the resin with my wood stick. I'm gonna take my time. It looks very nice. I'm gonna add more painting. I'm gonna put that on the side, and now I'm gonna mix my black metallic with the gold metallic resin. So I'm gonna put two colors together. I like to do that. So I'm gonna keep adding my acrylic until, you know, my mold is full to the edge. Okay, that look nice. And you can use a wood stick, you know, if you want to mix the color or give like a marble look, you can do that too. You can do whatever you want. I like the way it look. We're gonna see how it's gonna look when it's gonna dry. And now I'm gonna add the purple metallic and the pink metallic resin together. And I'm gonna keep adding my resin until the silicone mold is full to the edge. That look nice. I like it. So now I'm gonna use again another small space of silicone mold to pour the glitter purple, the purple glitter, sorry, resin. It look very shiny. I like it. And now I'm gonna fill up the last small space of silicone. I'm gonna add the golden metallic resin. And if you want to spray the color to the edge, you can use a wood stick to do that too. And now I'm gonna add my orange resin. Mix it up together. Add more. All right. So this is gonna be my second set for the first part. So I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna first try to use electrical heat. And I'm gonna apply the heat on my resin so that the bubble on the surface of the resin can disappear. Not all of them will disappear, but most of them will disappear. It's gonna make the resin look more clear without bubble. So with this machine, the pressure is very high. So when I heat my resin, I have to keep the distance because I don't want my resin to spill on the table. So I'm gonna heat my resin. Again, there is no specific time to heat your resin. You heat your resin until you feel like it's enough. So I'm gonna heat my resin. And you cannot see, but I can see some bubble disappear already on the surface. When I finish to heat my resin, I need to let that set on the plain surface for 24 hours. I mean, you can let it dry for 18 hours, but I prefer use 24 because I really want my resin to dry very well. So that's the first part of my video. I'm gonna let the resin dry, but I prefer 24 hours. After that, we're gonna see how it's gonna look after the 24 hours. So after the 24 hours, that's the way it looks. Again, now we are going to the second part of my video, and this is where you're gonna see how the coaster is gonna come together. I like the way it looks. It dry properly. So now I'm gonna create again a new set of resin. So I have my big cup with measurement, and I'm gonna use again the resin, the hardest Resin resin, the hardest, and the top table resin. So here is my cup. So I'm gonna pour first the harder, and again, when you mix it up, make sure that the quantity are equal so that the resin is gonna dry properly. So I'm putting the harder like 50 milliliter, and I'm gonna add the I'm sorry, the first one was the resin, now is the harder. I'm gonna add 50 milliliter, so everything is gonna be 100 milliliter, and I'm gonna take my time to mix it up. I'm gonna use my wood stick. So when you mix it up, you want to make sure that you go deep in the bottom of the cup. So you take your time to mix your resin. It's gonna look cloudy at first, but just keep mixing your resin about for 2 or 3 minutes. So now I think it's enough. So now I have my resin ready. And again, when you mix your resin, take your time, because if you don't mix it properly, the resin will not dry properly. And you should not have much harder, less resin, or less resin, much harder. It will not dry properly too. Make sure that the quantity are equal. So now I'm going to use my small silicone mold. Again, on my previous video, I'm teaching you guys also how to clean the cups after a resin project. You can watch that too. So I'm going to pour a small quantity in my silicone cup, because I would like to create different color, different design, and you're gonna see how it's gonna come. So now I'm doing the second part of my video. So this one I use the crayon, and I'm gonna show you later. So I would like to create 4 coaster resin. 4 resin coaster. That's what I want to create. So now I'm gonna use those gold stone in small quantity. I'm gonna pour that in 1 cup. It's very shiny. Then I'm gonna use those silver stone. I'm gonna pour them in the other cup. All right, you can see the bubble already. So now I'm gonna take another cup, and I'm gonna use the red metallic acrylic painting. The name is Artesia. Again, you can have that on Amazon too. it produces a nice color. And for my wood stick, when I finish a project, I just wash that with soap and water, and I can use that again. You can do the same too if you want. So now I'm using a brown metallic resin on the other cup. So I have this machine. It's only work for a small quantity of resin because the resin is thick. So I'm gonna use that machine to mix it up. As you see, if I go deep, it does not mix properly. You have to go on the surface. So I just want to show you. So it didn't mix the way that I want. The best way when you have a lot of resin, just use the wood stick, because you can apply the strength on the wood stick deep in the bottom of the cup. So with that I can turn properly my resin. Okay, so I'm gonna mix the red metallic acrylic painting with the resin. Look nice. So this is again the second part of my project. So now I'm gonna just mix the silver stone with the resin because I want to take off the bubble, and I'm gonna do the same for the gold stone. Okay, and this one are the crayon that I use, and I add that to the resin, and I'm gonna show you the crayon that I use. You can have that in any store, even the dollar store. So I sharp them and I use them. So now I have my resin ready. I'm gonna start now the second part of my project, and this is where we're gonna see how the coaster is gonna come together. So I have this first set that I realized. I'm gonna now take a new clean silicone mold. So I'm gonna take a piece over there. It looks very nice. I like it. It's dry. Okay, it looks so nice. So I'm gonna put that inside of the square silicone mold, and I'm gonna take again another small piece. So this piece, as you can see, didn't dry properly. It can happen if you add too more acrylic or too much colorant. That's what is gonna happen. So it didn't dry properly. There is something wrong. I will not use that. So here I have my square silicone mold. Now I'm gonna fill up the space with the resin, the color that I mix. I'm gonna put my camera closer so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna use the brown metallic and the red metallic. I'm gonna pour them together. You can decide to choose the color that you want and pour your resin the way that you want. So I pour them together. And when you create your color, in the end, if you don't have enough resin in your silicone mold, you can just add the clear resin to fill it up. And over there, my silicone mold is not filled up at all. So I'm gonna add the clear resin because I want to make sure I'm gonna add. You see, I want to make sure that the silicone mold is full, and you can play with your wood stick too. So I want to make sure that the resin is going everywhere. I'm gonna add more again. I like the way it looks. It's kind of a marble look. It's very nice. So this is my first coaster. I'm gonna put that on the side and let it dry again for 24 hours. So I'm gonna put it on the side and we're gonna do the next coaster. So okay, this is the second square coaster, resin coaster that I'm gonna create. So I'm gonna take off this piece. It will look amazing. Look at that. I'm gonna put that inside of the square silicone mold. I like the way it looks already. And I'm gonna take the other piece. So right there I have two square resin coaster, and I'm gonna pour in the middle the resin that I prepare on the side. So that will be my second coaster that resin coaster that I'm gonna create. So I'm gonna use the resin that have the gold stone. I'm gonna pour that in the middle, the space in the middle. So I'm gonna use my wood stick to spray the stone to make sure that the stone is everywhere. I like the way it looks already. Okay, I'm gonna play with my wood stick. And again, I'm adding more clear resin because my silicone mold is not full. So it's always good to have the clear resin extra on the side, in case if your resin that you mix with the color does not fill up the silicone mold. And I'm trying to make sure that the silicone go everywhere with my wood stick. So this is my second square resin coaster, and I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours. It look nice already. So I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours. It should not be moved or touched. I like the way it looks. So now we're gonna do the third resin coaster, and this one I'm gonna use the circle one. So I'm gonna create two square and two circle resin coaster. So this is the other set that I have. I'm gonna take this piece out from the mold and put it inside of the circle silicone mold in the middle. And I'm gonna take another piece, the pink purple metallic resin, and I'm gonna put that in the middle of the silicone. So the empty space, that's where I'm gonna pour my resin. That's the one mixed with the crayon. All those colors just make the coaster look amazing. So that will be my third circle resin coaster. I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours, and we're gonna see how it's gonna look later. And now I'm gonna do my last circle resin coaster. So again, I'm gonna take this piece and put it in the middle of the circle silicone mold. So this time I'm gonna use the resin that have the silver stone, and I'm gonna fill up the space in the middle. I'm gonna use my wood stick to make sure that the stone is going everywhere. That look amazing. I love it. I really do. So this is gonna be my fourth circle resin coaster. I'm gonna add more clear resin because I'm gonna full up. my coaster, and I'm gonna let it dry for 24 hours. After 24 hours, we're gonna see how those coaster is gonna look. So after 24 hours, I have my 4 resin coaster. So the first one is this one. It looks amazing to me. So I'm gonna start taking them off from the silicone mold. Look at that. That's where you're gonna put your glasses. It looks shiny, no bump. And this is the back. It looks stylish. And that's the second one. That's the back. I'm gonna take it off from the mold. Oh my god, look at that. This is so shiny. And this is the back, and this is where you're gonna put your glass. So I'm gonna take the third one. Okay, this one. So it looks nice already. Wow. So here you're gonna put your glasses. It looks so shiny. I love it. And this is the back. So that's the third one. And here I'm gonna take the last one. Oh my god. Okay, this is where you're gonna put your glass, and this is the back. So guys, this is my 4 resin coaster that I create. I hope you like the video. If you have any message concerning the video, feel free to send it to me. I really hope that you really enjoyed the video, how the project end, and it's just amazing to me. I didn't expect that. So I would like to thank you so much for taking your time watching my video. It's so amazing. I'm gonna use that for my house. That's very beautiful. So thank you so much again for watching, and feel free to email me. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to click on the notification bell and the like button. Thank you so much.